Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Bitcoin Buy and welcome to the first day of September. First day of September. Time really flies, right? And many of us, we are still in a lockdown, depending on which country you are coming from and you are in. Now, we have been doing this, I cannot remember, maybe 2 months, this video 2 months. And then I don't know if we have been properly introduced. Can you just type down, right, in the chat group, which city do you come from? Okay, can you just type down so that we all know that we are all from all over the place? Which city do you come from? Can you just type down in the chat group, which city do you come from? I know what, Penang, and we have Penang, Chennai, India, Luxembourg, wow, Vietnam, Delhi, Bangalore, KL, Munich, wow, Portugal, yes, PJ, Malaysia, Philippines, wow, Singapore, wow, we are from all over the place, right? Welcome to everybody, yeah. And I find that, South Africa too, yes, Belgium, South Africa, where else do you all come from? Come on, just type down in the chat group. Come on. Okay. Thank you. Now, I find that, that there are many instruments that everybody can invest in. You can invest in stock, you can invest in business, you can invest in commodity, you can invest in, palm oil, you can invest in gold, silver, you can invest in many things. But I find that people who invest in Bitcoin, they are really very passionate, right? They're really passionate, and they become friends, and they hang out together because they have a very common interest together. So maybe when COVID is over, and if any one of you are visiting this little island called Singapore, well, we can get together for a cup of coffee, okay? For a cup of coffee. So let's get started, right? Let's get started. Welcome to the first day of September, and welcome back to Bitcoin Byte. The price of Bitcoin gone as low as 40,000 today, and some people are feeling a little bit worried or confused. What's happening? And this is what we are going to talk about today. And today's discussion is take advantage of Bitcoin now. My name is Richard Tan from Success Resources. We are the world leading education provider. Every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we stream this live on Facebook and YouTube. We are making video on cryptocurrency investing, particularly Bitcoin. So if this is a topic that you're interested in, make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, and notification, and inform your friend about this channel, okay? So I'm very delighted to bring my friend, also my teacher, an expert and authority in financial investing, a well-known teacher, and he has students, thousands and thousands of students all over the world. Welcome, Dr. Clemen Chiang.
Wow, thank you so much for such a warm and happy welcome, Richard. You are also my great teacher and my mentor. And welcome to every one of you tuning in here today. Thank you so much.
Now, today, I'm going to ask Dr. Clemen Chiang some technical question. I hardly do that, right? Some technical question, maybe a bit heavy, but let's start with something light now. Okay. Now, there's an recent article that says the founder and CEO of Bridge Capital, he says that Bitcoin is going to hit 100,000 by end 2021. And he explained his statement. He says that because there is an exponential growth in demand of Bitcoin, right? And that's the reason why he made that statement. Now, I read a little bit about his history. He started off as a very strong critic of Bitcoin, and later on, he turned into a believer and a supporter. Now, Dr. Clemen, what do you think of his 100,000 statement at the end of the year? So what's your opinion on his statement?
And that's a great question to start off with, Richard. Everyone on the street right now is pointing at $100,000 price target for Bitcoin. And I want to dedicate a saying that goes, it's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more people talk about it, especially the people defined as people of authority, people who already put down money on the table. And here we go. We are looking right here at Anthony Scaramucci, CEO of Skybridge Capital. Now, he obviously is a man of authority, and likewise, not just from Skybridge, we have from Grayscale, we from ARK Invest, Pantera Capital. Why are these many renowned, proven investors at the same time who put money on the table, making $100,000 prediction of Bitcoin by year end? We all have a common goal right now. And throughout the past few weeks of sharing between Richard and myself, you guys have been picking up all the different dots, and I'm sure you have already made your conclusion to connect the dots. And this is the big part that's coming from Anthony himself. You see, the bottom line that he's highlighting on his thesis is that you have limited and fixed supply of Bitcoin. And I've dealt about this many times. Bitcoin fixed supply at 21 million. All other coins on the planet, unlimited. This is the only coin, the first virgin coin and the only decentralized coin that's fixed supply at 21 million coins, all right? And so every month exponentially, you have more demand. Now, why? So for every word that you pick up from all these articles, I'm going to teach all of you how to decipher the hidden message that's captured behind the nuances of the word. Exponentially more demand means simply that you turn on the TV, are they talking about Bitcoin? Let me tell you, every night on CNBC, they are displaying the price of Bitcoin on the bottom right-hand corner of CNBC. That is already legitimacy on its own. When you go to social media, read any articles, are they talking about Bitcoin? Yes. You go to Facebook, are they talking about Bitcoin? Yes. YouTube, are they talking about Bitcoin? Yes. So this is the part. And you got to understand why it's exponentially more in demand. So according to Anthony, as long as I see that, I see those prices rising. So we are going to stick with 100,000 price target. And we now have probably $650 to $700 million worth of Bitcoin across our portfolio of products. This is another crazy guy. Just like Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy, he has committed about $650 million. So do you want to listen to a guy like this? Of course. And the reason why, because he boils down his thesis to a population count. This is the most important paragraph. Why? He's convinced that the main cryptocurrency is growing faster than tech giants like FANG stock. We talk about tech giants hitting the $1 trillion market cap. And by the way, yesterday, Google just hit $2 trillion market cap.
Wow.
And Facebook last month just hit $1 trillion market cap over 17 years. But the only guy, the first and the fastest only guy is Bitcoin. Took them 12 years. And that's the reason why Anthony believes Bitcoin will reach 1 billion users by 2025. So when we are reading at 1 billion users by 2025, it means that, hey guys, are you going to be that late mover or the first mover? One more time. Are you going to be the late comer or the first mover to arrive? So this is a big takeaway from Skybridge Capital CEO Anthony Scaramucci. And back to you, Richard.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, if you want to be the first mover, please type in your chat group E, okay? E. Please type E. Okay, come on, type E. You want to be first mover, please type E. Okay, E.
Wow,
E.
awesome.
Okay. Good. Okay, let's all be a first mover, right? Before everybody come in. We want everybody to come in, but let's be the first to be here. Now, so everybody in the crypto market is waiting for Bitcoin ETF, right, to be approved by the SEC, because this is a big thing. Now, America is the largest market. Of course, the highest adopter of Bitcoin is actually in Vietnam and in other parts of the world. But the US is still where the money is, the largest capital market available in the whole entire world, right? So if there's an ETF approved by SEC, American can put in money quickly, more easily, more simply to invest in Bitcoin. And because of this, ETF is a key driver to drive up the Bitcoin price. Now, recent comment by SEC Chair Gary Greenster says that he is like very warm to this idea, but he says that there is a catch. I mean, there is a catch to his statement. Now, Dr. Clemen, can you explain what the catch is all about, and what is, is there any deviation from the original ETF approval or proposal?
Wow. That's a great question, Richard. And, we are shedding light at the end of the tunnel, and we're going to kind of swap over right now to take a look at the original writing of this article from investors.com. So what it says right here is SEC warms to Bitcoin ETF with one catch. And that is a succinct question that Richard is putting across to me. So I'm going to take all of you through 3 simple steps to understand what is this catch all about. So step one, the concept of ETF. Exchange Traded Fund. Why are we so excited about ETF? The reason is because many of the American wealth, the ordinary Americans, we're talking about a population of more than 300 million Americans, their wealth are stashed in places like pension funds, retirement funds, that's going to take care of them till the day they go up to heaven. And the problem is this, as step one, for all these fund managers, just like myself, I'm a hedge fund manager, while our mandate is really restricted. We are restricted to invest in certain types of instruments that are approved and regulated. And that is the reason why, as step one, every money manager right now are waiting for the Bitcoin ETF approval. Step one. Once it's approved, then step two, they can take the money from their pension funds or the retirement funds that represent majority of the ordinary Americans to invest directly by buying into the Bitcoin ETF. Thereby, step three, helping them to generate returns. So this is the catch right now. Gary Gensler is the chairman of Securities Exchange Commission. He is the authority that's going to give approval, but he says that right now, I'm only interested to give approval to futures-based Bitcoin ETF. Now, that's a totally different game. Futures-based Bitcoin ETF means that the traditional fund manager cannot take ordinary Americans' money to invest into a future-based ETF. So the floodgate is not open 100%, maybe open by 30%. All right, but it's a good step because once they stabilize on the futures ETF, then subsequent approval will be on the original Bitcoin ETF. All right, so we go down this entire paragraph right here, and they are all favoring about futures-based ETF right here on this statement, as you can see. And more importantly, this is a very positive step moving forward. All right. Now, the real important paragraph that we are all gunning out for is right up here. And this is a numbers game with a timestamp. And a timestamp clearly shows us that, hey, approval could come by 2022. Now, could come means it could be 1 month earlier, that's December this year. It could be 2 months earlier, that's November this year. It could even be in January. And by the way, Richard, I've already booked a flight to New York. In January, I'll be in New York, Times Square. And that is the period of time where everybody is feeling excitement. And I can tell you one very important tip. And the tip is this. By the time we hit December and Bitcoin rise to above $100,000, every regulator will be so pressured to give approval because everyone will be banging on their table, on their doors, on their windows, and everything that they can find. Because what the heck are you doing? You are depriving us of making phenomenal profits with our retirement funds, pension funds. Give the approval now. Back to you, Richard.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, as I mentioned that America has the most money, right? The capital market is there. More than $200 to $300 trillion is invested in stocks, in pension fund, in bonds, and other things, right? And the way the professional do it is that, of course, they don't put all their money into one basket. They will take a percentage of it. Even if they take a few percentage of the 200 or 300 trillion and put it into Bitcoin, right? There would not be enough Bitcoin to sell them because there's only limited amount of Bitcoin in the market right now, especially not everybody is selling Bitcoin, right? Many of them are whole. So the Bitcoin price will definitely drive upward. And that is very, very important, simplified news that you have, Dr. Clemen has condensed for us to understand, right? Now, just one day ago, there's an analyst called CryptoQuant, and they use a Pew multiple, right? It is a way of metric, right? An analyst uses tool as a metric to show the next direction of Bitcoin price. Now, this metric, Pew multiple, it has to do with miner revenue and moving average, etc. And this analyst brought out that over the past couple of years, when this Pew multiple shows certain number, right, there is a massive uptrend when this pattern happened. Now, it's a little bit technical for many of us. And the question to you, Dr. Clemen, is can you take a look at this and please simplify for us what it all means and what do you think, whether this makes sense or not to the current situation?
Wow. That's a very sharp question, Richard. And thank you so much for enlightening us with the research into this very amazing word.
Pew multiple.
Right. And I'm going to teach all of you, first of all, how to spell it. We're going to stop our screen right now. It is called News BTC on the website. And what you want to look out is for this image of the bull. And then Quan explains why Bitcoin bull cycle is only in phase one. All right. So on a serious note, we're going to take some time to digest this article. I think it's a great learning opportunity for every one of us right here. And this is the highlight. Step one, here we go. The Pew multiple is a BTC indicator used to tell how many healthy miners' revenues is. It's calculated by dividing the mining revenue by the 365 days moving average of the same. So what exactly has this got to do with the Bitcoin miners? Because, you know, whenever the Bitcoin miners, they will incur three very important costs. So I want to walk through all of you three important costs that every single Bitcoin miner will have to incur. Step one, they have to have a startup cost to buy up the machine from Bitmain. And in today's climate, because of China's ban on Bitcoin mining in China, every one of them right now scrambled, ran away to Kazakhstan, went away to US, ran away to any countries out there that has excess electrical power. It can be from hydro generating plant, can be from solar energy, wind energy, and so on. So as a result, the ordinary miners in the world right now, they are already killed. They can't compete anymore because step one, you must buy the most latest, most advanced machines from Bitmain, and they are the number one in producing the Bitcoin mining machine. This is the one-time startup cost. Step two, you have to put your machines at the electrical power plant, and you have to pay a monthly, what we call hosting fees. Just like on racks or servers, you put it there, they will charge you, oh, you got to utilize my electricity, and every month you have to pay me hosting fees. So as a result, the poor miner has to think about, okay, I need to recover my startup cost. Number two, I need to find money to pay off my monthly hosting cost. So this is the part where this paragraph kicks in. With the help of the metric, it becomes possible to say how much selling pressure miners are facing. Remember, they got a startup cost, they got a monthly hosting cost. When the indicator has high values, miner revenue is relatively healthy. Thus, miners aren't compelled to sell the Bitcoins that they mine. All right, so this is the beauty. While low values could suggest that they are facing considerable selling pressure to pay off their hosting fees and to recover their startup investment. So this is the part I'm going to dive deeper into this technical indicator, and kind of really interesting that, you know, Richard has highlighted to us. Step one, the Pew multiple, when it happens, it pumps up to right here. And thereafter, what you observe is that the price of Bitcoin is represented by this white line right here, right? White line right here. So once it start to it takes place in this zone, you can see it achieved two very top right here, right? What we call top middle of the 2011 cycle, and thereby leading to an all-time high right here. Then you go right again, the second time when the Pew multiple kicks in, we look at number one, we are here, all right? And according to the Pew multiple, Bitcoin got to spike up right up here, all right? So this is the moment right now we are floating around today's price, $47,320. And remember, we talk about the concept, we got to go back to the previous all-time high, which is 64,000. So thereby, this Pew multiple will fulfill the vision. It will go to the previous all-time high of $64,000. So I hope every one of you has some fun in understanding the Pew multiple.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now we may not understand, but we know that if this historically, if this happened, which the Pew multiple fulfill this metric, historically, Bitcoin will have a massive up cycle. Yeah. So it has happened so many times every year. When every now and then, when this thing happens, Bitcoin will go up. So now we are at this stage when this Pew multiple fulfill the historical metric, and if the last couple of years is the same, we are expecting a massive uptrend for Bitcoin. Now, somebody asked me a question yesterday. He says, Richard, Bitcoin price hit 50 and then it go down to 48, 47. Now it's around 47,000. He says, Richard, would it go lower? Should I go in right now? Yes, should I go in right now because it's 47, or should I wait a little bit further? Now, it all depends on how you view the, I would say, middle term or long-term view of Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin, as all indicator has suggested, is going to 100,000, whether you are buying at 45, 46, 47, 48, it makes no difference. It's just a few thousand different because it's going to 100,000. But you think that if Bitcoin, is going to stop at 50,000, then you better buy at much lower. But if Bitcoin is going to 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, $1 million, whether you purchase at 40,000, 45,000, 50,000, it makes no difference because it's such a small percentage of the whole total number. What do you think, Dr. Clemen?
Oh, yes. These percentages, whether it's a 47, 48, 49, 50,000, we covered at length at our recent Launchpad course, and we took 2 days to kind of teach you guys on the precise price point. And I want to add on to what Richard has just asked all of us, and I want to switch over right now to the Bitcoin charts, all right? We are looking at right now the 15-minute candle Bitcoin chart. So right up here, it was trading at 48,696, and then I kind of come down right over to this part here. The lowest part right here is about 46,512, right? So this is the moment in time I'm going to teach you something really powerful, all right? We're going to look at this very important candle right here. Here we go. We call it the volume candle, all right? You can see this candle here is super tall, right? And it just happened very recently. And then I'm going to draw a horizontal line across it. So right from here, I draw a horizontal line to determine how many Bitcoins were traded in that 15-minute window. And the answer is about 1,650 Bitcoin on that 15-minute window itself. Now, the good news is that as people are selling, there are also people buying. Here we go. So right here, you can see the red candle people are selling, which is about 1,650 Bitcoin. And right here, the green one, there is always an action and a reaction. There are many people standing by to buy when you sell. So please get this right. Today's discussion, the big takeaway is the supply is diminishing right now at this moment. People are hodling their Bitcoin. They refuse to touch their Bitcoin because they expect the $100,000 target. And the moment you sell, there's another batch of traders coming in to snap it up. And that's the reason why right now at this price range, we look at it as a golden window of opportunity. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I'd like to pick up one or two questions, and maybe later on we can have a conversation together, right? I mean, we have been doing this for, I believe it's 2 or 3 months already. And the reason why we do this is because we are, I'm very passionate about this. My team is very passionate about this. And Dr. Clemen Chiang is also very passionate about this Bitcoin. Now, you find that there are many people who invest in many others instruments like gold, stock, etc. But I will tell you that you cannot find somebody more passionate about a single financial instrument than those who invest in Bitcoin. I mean, you cannot find somebody that's so passionate about palm oil, so passionate about petroleum, so passionate about, car, stock of car, etc. But gold, but you find that the investor of Bitcoin, they are really, really, really passionate about this product, okay? And that's the reason why we are doing all this. And we would like you to spread this news so that more people can come to this channel and more people can come to the Global Bitcoin Festival. Now, there is a question here from Thomas, right? Thomas and Tony William. Dr. Clemen, if you can answer this, should we keep all the Bitcoin in different account or in one wallet? Which is better? What do you think, Dr. Clemen?
That's a great question. And I assume that you probably have more than 1,000 Bitcoins to begin with. Now, I want you guys to know all this out there that people are talking about moving coins from hot wallet to cold wallet to the thumb drive and all this. These are really, really small players. The people I hang out with are easily the top 3 wallets in Binance for Bitcoin. And we are talking about a few thousand Bitcoins, right? Now, what they do is they keep it at exchange, but you do not know which exchange they kept it at. And there are many reasons for this. When you move to a cold wallet, all right, the chances of you losing it is much, much higher than you keeping it on an authentic exchange. And why? Because first, when you put into a cold wallet, you need to write your private key somewhere, and that will stress you out already. Do you laminate the paper? What if the paper rot? What if someone spill water on the paper? That's it, you forgot your private key. Everything gone. What if your mate come into your room and thought that your cold wallet, which looks like a thumb drive, she just threw it into the dustbin? Many instances of Bitcoin being lost simply because they keep their cold wallet at home, they misplace it, they lost their private key. So many stories I heard about that. Step 1. Step 2, if you keep on an exchange, why is it important that you keep on an exchange today? And let me share with you the upcoming government regulations that's on board. The latest that I heard right now from my friends who just called me yesterday is those Chinese, I'm talking about Chinese, they set up their Binance account and right now they're trying to withdraw. They got frozen because China has officially clamped down on Bitcoin, especially cryptocurrency trading. So today, if you're holding a Chinese passport, I think your coins will be frozen at Binance. So what you should do, instead of going to Binance, go to another exchange that can accept your passport. So step 2, trade and keep your coins on exchange. Why? Because when the price shoot up to 100,000, it will not stay there forever. You must be right there at a point in time, ready to take your profits. And you cannot panic. Hey, where's my private key? Where did I keep my cold wallet? You cannot have these kind of instances. You must be ready to fire at will because it can happen this year anytime. And finally, step 3, so you sold off your Bitcoin. You took a lot of profits. Have you all thought about how to convert your USDT into US dollars so that you can still wire back to your domestic bank account and take the money, go out there and buy yourself a nice piece of property or a car or a dowry for a wife. Right? So these are the practical steps that you think about, and to give you all the confidence, the Bitcoin wheels I hang out, they keep their coins at exchange. That's the summary for you.
Okay, I hope we answer your question. Now. I want to ask you, about this global Bitcoin festival. As I say that, we are all doing this because we are very passionate about Bitcoin, and we are very passionate about Bitcoin. And the only way to contribute is to tell more people about Bitcoin. And we decided to use this festival called Global Bitcoin Festival, this coming October, as a platform to get a lot of people in, 10,000, 100,000, and we are funding it so that more people can come in to know about Bitcoin and educate about Bitcoin and use Bitcoin as an instrument for them to create wealth. And the more people who are using it, the more each and every one of us who own Bitcoin has an advantage to it. So that's the reason why I'm asking every one of you here to support. How do you support? The way you support is to tell more people, because it is free of charge. They have absolutely nothing to lose. The more people come in, the more who knows about it, and this movement will grow like fire. And we are all in it. And because we are all in it, it is such a big power that government or big institution cannot do anything, because this is decentralized, and it will make Bitcoin one of the prominent instrument for you and me, right? For our generation to come. So I'd like to open this chat for any one of you who are, if you are interested to help us promote this Bitcoin, this Global Bitcoin Festival. Can you type your name there so that we can contact you directly, and maybe we can check how we can promote this Global Bitcoin Festival in your country. If any one of you are interested to support this movement, can you type your name there so that my team can contact you guys? Okay, on the chat group. David, thank you, David. Chanda, thank you. Mark, thank you. Who else? Who else? What about anybody from Vietnam? I love Vietnam. Okay. Thank you, Mani Kanda, Mutu, India, Susan. Yes, Susan. Okay, Joycelyn. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so the Global Bitcoin Festival is a gathering of industry expert, enthusiastic community of Bitcoin holder. It is a movement to promote education, adoption of Bitcoin. Yeah. Now, maybe I'd like to invite Dr. Clemen Chiang to end today's session with his last word to every one of you about Global Bitcoin Festival.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm going to do this right here. Holy moly. I want to show all of you, this is a very limited 100-piece Bitcoin watch in the world. And I want to end up today's session to show you this video, because why? In the 100 pieces, my group of buddies, we snap up 12 of these watches, 12 out of 100. And the reason is because, we kind of form our bond together and say that, okay, if we really want to get serious, we get serious all the way through, no half-hearted, all right? And so we form a bond, and we come together. We are all Bitcoin wheels in the market, and we say, all right, this watch is our pledge of our loyalty, and we shall not do anything else other than wait for the price to break 100,000. So I want to share with all of you today, under the leadership of Richard and Success Resources, he already saw the future. I already saw the future. And that's why two of us come together and say, hey, if we've seen the future, how can we help more people out there who kind of stuck in the financial rat race? You try to do something, it's just not giving you that, bam, one level up, one lump sum of cash, bam, one level up, one pot of cash. And we define one pot of cash as US 100,000 to begin with. Don't have to be too big. What is the mean of US 100,000? How many of you have made US $100,000 cash through your own efforts? one time. And the lump sum cash enter not through like divided by 10 every month you get $10,000. No, one time 100,000 cash. This is what Bitcoin can do. I've seen so many of our students who traded with me since the Bitcoin halving. They are like sitting on $100,000, $1 million pure profits out of their mind, simply because they stick on to the community and say, we press on, press on. Time to take profits, take profits. So this is what Global Bitcoin Festival can do for you. Stay with us. The event will be held in end of October. November, December is the two of the most exciting months. I can tell you that 2 months you can't breathe because we're going to go up on a roller coaster and you're going to see for yourself. And every single day you'll be asking when to sell, when to take profits. And that's why we have to stick together as a community. And we feed you with the latest data analytics, with the latest insights from the whales, so that you can enjoy this ride, not on your own, but together we can do much more. So please join us at the Global Bitcoin Festival.
Thank you. Thank you. Lastly, I would like to ask my team just to turn on their video and say hello to everybody. Come, Jade, come on. So Jade is helping us, and Success Resources team, can you turn on your video and say hello to everybody? Come on, Success Resources team. Now we have team from India and Malaysia and Singapore. Can you turn on the video? Right, turn on your video. Sonel from UK and Sonel from UK. Hello, our team from Chennai, India. Where else? Pion, Sonel, Dalila, and okay. So this is my team, ladies and gentlemen, and for those of you who are supporting, who put your name down, we will contact you, and we will work together so that we can, explode this movement, okay, for the benefit of everybody. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.